Good afternoon, everyone. You're probably wondering why there's still Highway 35 stuff on our wonderful investigation table today. Well, that's because we're still carrying on with our Diecast Den series. This is technically a bonus episode, since there are some bonus things I didn't mention in the main 5 videos, because I felt they deserved their own bit of content. So, first of all, here is the Brach's Candy, I don't know how you pronounce it, Candy special version of the Highway 35 Zotic. It is a Highway 35 one, since it does have the badge, and it is the same casting, I suppose, as one of the Highway 35 items. These aren't currently all that expensive. In fact, compared to other sealed Highway 35 base product, they're not. But so I have to pick this up. But it's odd, because it's not really a Highway 35 product in any other sense other than the random badge and the random fact that it's exotic. It's a weird promotional item. But I thought it was interesting enough to sort of mention. It's technically part of the collectible set, if you will. It's a bit of an oddity, really. Bit of an oddity. Speaking of oddities, we have several track variants of cars. These came with the ultimate blah 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 challenge set tracks. We've got an alt version of what's it called? Power Pipes. Yeah, we've got an alt version of Power Pipes here with a sort of a blue livery on black rather than a purple. A slightly different version of Mega Duty. I mean, very slightly. The only thing that's really different is the badge is slightly different here. It doesn't have the Highway 35 logo on it. I think that tends to, oddly enough, that tends to be the theme, is that they don't have the Highway 35 logo. For some reason, despite obviously being Highway 35 cars. And they have different, usually more standard wheels. Possibly these wheels that have been left over for the production line. Like, oh, we've got to use all of these different wheels up. Of course, Muscle Tone, which has, again, the sort of odd wheels that are kind of phasing out at this time point. And again, there's no badge to be found. And this isn't in great condition either. There are a couple of others. One of which being a blue Power Pistons. And I think there's one other one. I think there might be an alt version of the leader's cars. Oh yeah, sorry, there's an alt version of Slingshot. Yeah, there's an alt version of Slingshot, which is sort of grey with hazard stripes, that were part of the Ultimate race set, so the big one that was very hard to get a hold of. It might have been exclusively mail order only, or that might have just been an alternate way of getting it. Either which way, harder to get a hold of, and thus the individual cars from that set are very expensive and don't appear anywhere. So that's why I don't have either of those. There's also a track set Vulture that I'm missing. I used to own one, but it got lost somewhere. We have a couple of these tabs here, though. These are from the actual sealed product. So we've got a couple of these are because I bought these ones sealed, because it was the easiest way to get a hold of them. Except later on I actually found a unsealed Toyota RSC at a car boot sale. But having these cardboard tabs is fine. This one didn't come off quite so well. These are somewhat similar to the Redline buttons, except Redline buttons were metal, and the later ones are plastic. These are just a piece of cardboard, but they're still, I consider them somewhat collectible. I'm looking to see if I can get some reproduction of one of these done, because I don't really want to buy brand new Highway 35 cars, just for the sake of getting these and these, the comics. So we have sort of episode 28, 11. I swear I have some more of these comics somewhere. 14 and 24. These were the ones that came with those particular cars. I do have a bunch more somewhere, because I did keep the comics. But I don't, by all means, I do not have all of them. So there's comics, which are really interesting. There are DVDs. I think I used to own one part of the DVD, because it's a movie, technically. But I don't have that anymore. The full movie disc came with a special version, a special multi-pack that contained, I think it was Dior 2 and the 70s Roadrunner. Obviously, I'm not going to buy the box set now, because I don't really need any of those cars anymore. There's also a set of what we call Zamax for each of the leaders. So the leader cars, except other than the sort of tampos slash decals, the bodywork is entirely just silver with their Zamac undercoating. That's what they call the undercoating of a Hot Wheels car. Those are USA exclusive, I believe, and are hard to get a hold of over here. And the last thing I don't have is there are a couple of convention exclusive cars. I think one was DR2, the other one was a Purple Passion, which weirdly doesn't appear in the main lineup at all, but technically has the Highway 35 sort of a livery for the convention of that. Very strange, but it is technically part of the series, and both of those, because they're convention exclusive, were very, very expensive, easily in the multiple hundreds of pounds mark. So I don't really care enough to get them at the moment. Maybe it's a benchmark price to look for in the future, but right now I do not care enough about those Super Chase variants. And on that note, it's time to put this series to bed for a good bit. We might be adding to this with some track testing with all of our Highway 35 teams at some point, so stay tuned. This is by no means the end of the series, but this is, I guess you call it the end of Season 1 of our Highway 35 stuff here at the Diecast Den. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Please, if you feel able, give us a comment, like the video, subscribe, and ding the bell. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Junior, signing off.